Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Third verse, Maneesha Panchakam. Shashvannashwarameva vishwamakhilam Nischitya vacha guroho Nityam brahma nirantaram vimrushata Nirvyaja shantatmanam Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam pradahata Samvinmaye pavake Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapurityesha Maneesha mama. Shashvat nashwaram eva vishwam akhilam Nischitya vacha guroho. This entire Vishwa is Nashwara. This he has gotten conviction through the words of the teacher. What is Nischitya vacha guroho? That is what we are discussing. World is impermanent, all of us know. Although we don't notice it, we don't pay attention to it. But if we pay little bit attention, we know everything in this universe is constantly getting destroyed. Shashvat Nashwaram it is, nothing can stay the same forever. What has the words of the teacher done to the student? On top of this fact, which is very evident, what has Guru Vachanam done to him? He says, just like this world is Nashwara, all other worlds are also Nashwara. Just like position over here is Nashwara, any position we might get, that position is also not permanent. Expecting permanent happiness from an impermanent thing. He says that is the irony of human beings. Yamacharya says this, Nahi adhruvaihi praptavan asmi nityam. Adhruva means that thing which is impermanent. With that I was expecting permanent happiness. This conviction to help us align with the true purpose of life, making us seek that permanent thing. This thing has been accomplished through the words of the teacher. In Bhagavad Gita, when we saw the verse, Sayuktaha Krutsna Karma Krut, 4th chapter, we had seen one story, if you remember. Those who are attending Bhagavad Gita class, Krutsna Karma Krut means what? There was one person who was a merchant. He had to strike some new business deal, so he sent his subordinate who was working with him. He said, go to the neighboring village and talk to that other person and get this deal done. So this man goes to the neighboring village. He is welcomed so nicely in that village. He reaches in the afternoon time. He says, oh, you have come in the afternoon. Please have some lunch. We have an elaborate menu here. Everything is very nice. Please have some lunch. So he has lunch. They say, right after lunch, we should not discuss business. Take some rest. Take some rest. Evening time anyway we have, let us talk. It's evening time. They say, the folk culture in our village is very popular. They have prepared something. They are going to present something. Why don't you first watch all of that? Later we will discuss. By the time they watch all the folk performances, it's dinner time. He said, tomorrow whole morning we have, you finish your dinner first. That day goes by. Next day morning, you can imagine what time he would have woken up after all this heavy dinner and everything. Morning time also, something or the other keeps him busy. By afternoon, it is time to head back. He comes back to the master and master asks him, did you accomplish the work for which I had sent you? He says, no, master. He said, what happened? Did they not treat you well? Did they not give you whatever you had asked for? He says, no, they gave me more than what I asked for. Then what happened? So that itself became my obstacle. So this Mahatmaji would say, this is our story. We have been sent to this world with a purpose. Bhagavan has sent us here in human form with a goal. And if this person remains busy with every other thing except knowing his nature to be consciousness, except seeking that moksha, it is like that person who went to the neighboring village. Did everything but missed out on the main purpose of human life. In Upanishad it is said, the one who departs from this world without knowing the truth, that person is a miser. The one who departs without knowing the truth, that person is a krupanah. Yove gargi asmat lokat praiti aksharam aviditva sa eva krupanah. Yajnavalkya ji is telling Gargi, one who departs from this world without knowing that akshara, that person is a krupanah. In what sense? He had all the opportunities to gain this knowledge and to abide in this knowledge, but he lost on that opportunity. He missed out on that opportunity. Only in human birth we have that opportunity. All other lokas, it becomes more and more difficult. We still have an opportunity, but it is even more difficult. So this seeking, giving us direction in our quest, that is the role of Guru Vachanam. Nishchitya Vacha Guroho means that. Nashvara Vastu, we know it is Nashvara. But making sure that we don't make Nashvara Vastu as our goal of life. That is the first thing Guru Vachanam has accomplished. The second thing was mixed bag of joy and sorrow. Whatever is there here, same thing is there everywhere else. Yadeva iha tat amutra. No matter where we go, except that consciousness which is unconditioned bliss, everything else is a mix of joy and sorrow. Until somebody is comfortable with this kind of mixed result of joy and sorrow, that person has really not started spiritual journey. Puja Guruji would say, it's a quote which is very popular. A happy slave is the worst enemy of freedom. If we are very happy with mixed bag of joy and sorrow, we will never seek something which is absolute bliss. The one who finds limitations in mixed bag of joy and sorrow, that person becomes a seeker. And Guru Vachanam is to ensure that he is put on this path. All this is elaboration of Nishchitya Vacha Guru. Shashvan Nashwaram, everybody knows. But pointing out defects in mixed bag of joys and sorrows, that has been accomplished by Guru Vachanam. In Vedanta, we start our journey by calling this world as Nashvara. Nashvara means what? Impermanent. But more finer definition is, it was not there at some point, it came into being, and it will get destroyed at some point. This is the definition of impermanent. Means right now it is there, probably before it was not there, and later it is not going to be there. This is the definition of impermanent. But Vedanta really wants to say, Jagat is not only impermanent, it is mithya. What is the difference between impermanence and mithya? Mithya means it is superimposed. It is not absolutely real. It is only an appearance. How will you define impermanence and mithyatva? Impermanence we just defined it. It was not there before. It is there right now. It will get destroyed. You take anything, apple for example. It was not there before. I am seeing it right now. You leave it there, it will get destroyed. Everything in this creation, including this body, we know it is impermanent. Mithya means, even though it is appearing right now, it is not really there. Even though it is appearing right now, it is not really there. What is there is only the substratum. Mithya example is blue color in the sky. We cannot say that blue color was born, now it is there and I have to scrub it off to destroy it. Whatever is mithya vastu, we just have to inquire into the substratum. The result of that knowledge is we will know that whatever is appearing there is only a superimposition, it is not really there. So, impermanence and mithya, this is the fine line. In Vedanta, we start with nitya, anitya viveka. In Tattva Bodha, we will start with that. What is permanent, what is impermanent, that we have to distinguish. And after distinguishing, choose the permanent. Okay? Otherwise, after a lot of inquiry, you know that this is impermanent and this is permanent. Puja Guruji calls this as campaigning for Brahman, voting for Maya. This is impermanent, this is permanent, but when it comes to choosing, I will choose the impermanent. Not in that way. Choosing the permanent or recognizing that I should have a permanent goal, that is our beginning. But if we are students of Advaita Vedanta, culmination is not in Nitya Anitya. Culmination is in Satya Mithya. Then only non-duality. Consciousness alone is real, everything else is a superimposition. Now, what is the role of the teacher here? Nishchitya Vacha Guroha, same word we are reflecting upon. Having shown that the world of objects is mithya, he says this world of objects, the body, mind, intellect, everything has a substratum, that is this Nitya Vastu Brahma. How are we experiencing the world of objects? We experience it as an existent entity. How are we experiencing this body? We say body is. Horns of a rabbit. Horns of a rabbit is non-existent. Are we experiencing this body like that? No. How about thoughts? We experience thoughts as existent. So if somebody is very alert, the teacher will point out the existence part in thought, existence part in body, existence part in the world doesn't really belong to the world. Sat is nature of Brahma only. Although we are seeing the world as existent, existence in the world belongs to Chaitanya. Existence in the world belongs to consciousness. Thoughts are being seen as sentient. Thoughts are being seen as sentient. Consciousness doesn't belong to thoughts. Sentiency really doesn't belong to thoughts. That is the nature of Shuddha Chaitanya, Om. Sat is done, Chit is done. Any joy that we experience in this world, any joy that we experience through objects in this mind, Nishchitya Vacha Guru is, it really doesn't belong to that object, it really doesn't belong to mind also. Ananda is nature of Shuddha Chaitanya. So whatever is understood as nature of the world, even there is a fine line. Existence is borrowed from consciousness. Sentience is also borrowed from that same consciousness. Happiness is also borrowed from that same consciousness. Now consciousness is given different names. You can call it Brahman, you can call it as Atman, you can call it as Sakshi. All are the same. Three indicators of that Sakshi, Brahman, Atman is Sat, Chit, Ananda. And whatever we see in the world as existence, that is borrowed from Sat of Sakshi. Chaitanya is also borrowed from that same Sakshi. Ananda is also borrowed from that same Sakshi. You see that Sat, Chit, Ananda, Shuddha Brahma, that you are. This Nishchaya he gets from Guru Vakya. And the example is the same canvas example. Chitra Deepa, we saw yesterday. Existence of the painting doesn't belong to the color. Existence of the painting is borrowed from the canvas. Only that part you take. In that way, existence of this whole creation is borrowed from Chaitanya. Imagine how much of subtlety is needed in doing this Viveka. See, one Viveka we do is between worldly things. What I should eat, what I should not eat. What is dharma, what is adharma. But when it comes to Vedanta, that Viveka gets finer and finer. That is why all the qualifications are asked for. Sukshma buddhi, uparata chitta. Uparata means withdrawn. Why? Because I have to distinguish between name and form and the substratum consciousness. In Drigdrishya Viveka, it's beautifully given. Sat, Chit, Ananda belongs to Brahma. And Nama Rupa belongs to Jagat. Sat, Chit, Ananda belongs to Brahma. Nama Rupa belongs to Jagat. Both of these look mixed up. Separating both of them, that is our Vedanta sadhana. Vedanta sadhana. Now somebody might ask, why can't we leave this world as impermanent? Even to get there was so difficult. Now you are saying this is not the final goal. You have to go towards mithyatva. Really speaking, if we understand world as impermanent, it doesn't give us true vairagya. Think about it. If something is impermanent, we have accepted this as a matter of fact, that I will replace one impermanent thing with another. We take it for granted that world is impermanent. Whenever we buy some new gadget, we never expect that to last for 50 years, right? What about permanent lasting? We know that in 5 years, 3 years, I have to change it. So true vairagya doesn't come from impermanence. Anything else you take, in spite of knowing it to be impermanent, mind still goes there. So as scriptures say, real vairagya dawns when we know that thing to be mithya. Real vairagya dawns when we have conviction that this thing is mithya. What is the example? If you see a silver in a shell, if you see a silver in the shell, and you say that I am an honest person, I only take things which belong to me, and there is some silver lying there, I will not go and lift it. Even though I am seeing silver there, I will not go and pick it up. Now I am giving reality to that silver. which is really an appearance on that shell. I'm giving reality to it and then staying away from it. But if I inquire into the substratum and know that there is no silver in the first place, what is there is only shell, there is no silver there. That should give me true vairagya towards that silver. No desire should be there to go and even check what is there. Like that, Mahatmas say our life should become fully content, abiding in that Ananda Swarupa Brahma. Not seeking anything outside for joy. Duty might demand us to go out, but this person doesn't have this erroneous notion that I will get something outside which will make me content. Many a times we have this question or we ask. Sometimes we have to do things that we probably ourselves would not want to do. Does that count as a desire? For example, going to a vacation. Many of your friends must have gone, right now. And they'll ask also. Going for a vacation, if somebody can do it as kartavya means as a duty, that for family to stay together, we have to take this time out. That will be called as naimittika karma. It is not kamya karma. At the same time, if somebody goes with the thought that I'm going to enjoy this vacation, very likely there will be disappointments there. Because so many uncertainties are there, so many minds you have to work with, so many objects you have to work with, and anything can go wrong anytime. This is what Gurudev would say, don't put the keys of your happiness in somebody else's pocket. And very knowingly, we take all the keys and have invested it in different people's pockets. So Vedanta should become that source of contentment where we are not seeking joy in any experience of the world outside. This Nishchaya has come through Guru Vachanam. So the second line is Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrushata. Means Guru has not only shown this world to be impermanent, but he has shown that there is some Nitya Vastu, which is a substratum of this Nashvara world. That you have to hold on to. Unless we hold on to the substratum, letting go of the superimposed is very difficult. So that is this part. Now look at his ability, Guru's ability. Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrushata. All the time he is able to put his mind in this consciousness. Vimrushata means reflecting. Vichar vimarsh kar rahe hai. In Hindi we say that, right? Means he is deliberating upon this topic. Like that he is deliberating upon the higher truth. If you search his mind, you will only find Vedanta Vichara. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji says, such a person might wear kaupina. But he is the most blessed person. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadaramantaha Kaupina Vantaha Khalu Bhagyavantaha. Means minimal possessions he might have, but still his happiness is much more than anybody can fathom. This is an ability that he has cultivated through sincere seeking. It is not that we don't have this ability. Only our subject of inquiry is different. Right? Whenever you are given a very challenging problem, you see how our mind stays with that thing forever, at least for the duration. Right? You wake up, you sleep, same thing is going on in your head about that problem. Like that, if we can do for Vedanta, meaning that much of love should be there for this topic, that much of commitment should be there towards this goal. If that can happen, reflection is natural. See, mind goes only to that place where it finds joy. Wherever our mind is going right now, it is that place where it is finding joy. So if that source of joy can be Atma, source of joy can be Chaitanya, he says there he is able to put his mind in. I had heard one incident in the life of Swami Akhandanandji Maharaj. He was taken to one place, where that, I think it was our Birlas, their residence. He was their Kula Guru. Lot of reverence was there. Or it might be somebody else, I don't know exact who it was. They were having some kind of evening party. They had called everybody and they were having this party. Swamiji said, or they asked Swamiji, would you like to come? He said, what will I do by coming there? It is not some place where I can go. But he said, let me see how it is. Because same people would come in the evening for his discourse. He said, let me see how it is. And he was made to sit in one room which was dark. And this whole thing, the social gathering was happening outside. And he sat inside very quietly. So this host came to him and asked later, Swamiji, how was it? He said, I did Drug Drishya Viveka. I am the seer, all of them are seen. For the whole duration he sat there, this is what he was thinking. These are Mahatmas, every mundane experience, they can transform it into Vedantic experience. Taponji Maharaj, you read his Wandering in the Himalayas or Ishwar Darshan. He is describing something of nature, but his mind is reflecting on Vedanta. You'll find all analogies from there. Everything is related to Vedanta. So the main thing is, we should find our own creative ways to keep mind in scriptures. Just like we have thought for the day, I think we should have verse for the day. Take one verse, one idea that really connects with us. And stay with it. Try to put mind in that thing. Try to open up that verse more and more. And this won't happen naturally. It is not that suddenly one day we will become a sadhaka who is capable of putting mind in Brahman effortlessly. Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrushata. It's a slow journey. And if we have seen our own journey for the past several years, if you have been doing Shravanam for 10 years, 15 years, you will notice this ability should increase. Previously, if you sat in Vedantic discussion, you would wonder, what are they talking? Jagat is mithya, Jagat is a superimposition, there is a substratum. Everything looks very fuzzy. But a stage should come where mind takes delight. Mind can take delight, that is when this verse can be accomplished. Vimrushata Nirvyaja Shantatmana. What was Nirvyaja? Free from Vasanas. One who has crossed over Vasanas means he really can do what he wants to do. Gurudev gave that definition, right? What is Vasana? Helpless expression of our past. Means I want to do something, but my Vasana pushes me somewhere else. So Nirvyaja is somebody who really has some control over his own life. Through Bhakti Yoga, through Karma Yoga. All techniques are only to reduce this Vasana pressure. The moment we start following rules, even Dharma for that matter, that is also one technique of reducing this Vasanas. Rules are for that. Vasana means what? It doesn't like any rules. Whatever comes as a storm inside, this person ends up acting upon it without thinking. So one who has mastered Vasanas, reduced Vasanas, that person is the one who is not carried away by the storm. Now there is another technique of overcoming Vasanas. It's a very beautiful one. It's given in Viveka Chudamani. Yatha yatha pratyagavasthitam manaha tatha tatha munchati bahya vasana. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, don't become overly concerned with your Vasanas. Don't run after them, trying to hold them and then trying to get over them. You just start bringing some positive change in life. Start thinking about something higher. Whenever we start thinking about something higher, turn inwards, shift attention to that Chaitanya, all Vasanas, they will just lie dormant there. In time, they'll get wiped off. Don't get overly concerned with them and try to run after them. Yatha yatha pratyag avasthitam manaha. As the mind turns towards the self, all external vasanas, they slowly drop off. So the main thing here is to turn attention towards the self. Okay, that part is Nirvyaja Shantatmana. The third line is beautiful. Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam pradahata. Bhutam means past. Bhavi means future. Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam. Dushkrutam means all the erroneous things which one could have done. One Mahatma would say, whenever sorrow comes in life, it is expression of some papa karma of the past. Some papa karma of the past expresses as sorrow in life. What is the opposite? If joy comes in life, sukham comes in life, some punya karma is getting ripened. If you look at this equation, one should really be happy if some sorrow comes. You know why? Because some papa karma of the past is getting washed away. On the other hand, if sukham comes, some punya karma of the past is getting washed away. No, we should not be afraid of sukham. Only thing is, one should keep doing satkarma. So that this account is very healthy, punya karma balance is very good. So daily prayers that we do, any seva that we do, although this person doesn't do with this bhava that I'm increasing my punya, what it actually does is that that person's life is taken care by the Lord. Because Bhagavan says, if you have punya karma, to give you sukham is my responsibility. There he doesn't make any mistake. No karma phala goes here and there. He takes very good care. Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam pradahata. But this person is somebody who has gone beyond punya and papa. Dushkruta and sukruta, both he has gone beyond, and he has burnt this entire heap of karmas. Entire heap of karma phala, if you want to say, that has been burnt. There are three types of karma phalas. Those who are studying Vedanta, it's very familiar to you. If you are new, this might be a new term. One is called as Sanchita karma. Remember, it's actually karma phala. We call it as karma, but really speaking, it is karma phala. Three types of karma phalas. One is called as Sanchita karma. Second is called as Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma. Third is called as Agami karma. What is the difference between these three? You can understand it with an example. Sanchita karma is like fixed deposit. Whatever we have earned over several years, that is stored in one place. Those karma phalas are stored in one place. That is called as Sanchita karma. This is not the only life, or this is not the only birth we have had. Several janmas we have had in the past, several karma phalas we have continuously accrued. The collection of all those karma phalas is called as Sanchita karma, fixed deposit. Now if somebody wants to travel to a different country, he withdraws some money from that. And then travels to another country. That withdrawn money is similar to Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means what? From Sanchita, one chunk has been taken out. And that becomes responsible for the different experiences this person goes through in this physical body. Which family he will be born, what will be the experiences he will get in and through his life. More or less, it will be based on his prarabdha karma. So Jyotisha Shastra will rely very heavily on this spread of prarabdha. It will paint a big picture. Jyotish Shastra cannot exactly point out what is going to happen 1 hour later. It is a Shastra, but it will paint a big picture that this is how prarabdha will lay out. And the main thing there is, one can be prepared to face prarabdha. That is the only thing Jyotish Shastra will do. Mahaperiyar, he has written a book, Swamiji, on Vedas, published by Bharati Vidya Bhavan, very beautifully elaborates this topic. In one place he says, Jyotish Shastra is like weather forecast. It can only tell us it is going to rain tomorrow. Opening the umbrella is our responsibility. It will not stop the rain, it will not change the rain. So that is this prarabdha. Overall it opens up in this way. But one should not be afraid of prarabdha also. Goswamiji says, Jab janaki nata sahaya, kare nara tero. Kaun bigada sakhe nara tero. If Bhagwan Rama is there to help you, why are you afraid of anything in this world? Rahu Ketu ke nahi gamyata. No Rahu can come closer, no Ketu can come closer. You just increase devotion to the Lord. But all of this is part of prarabdha. One part is Sanchita karma, chunk taken out is prarabdha karma. Now this fellow who had gone to this other country, exhausting all his prarabdha, by divine grace, something happens there, by which, let us say, people who are in the embassy, they are granted diplomatic immunity. What other citizens don't have, that these people have. Their passport color is green, everything is different. Like that, whatever happens after jnanam, whatever karma phalas are coming after jnanam, after knowledge, those karma phalas are called as agami karmas. Agami karma. So within that prarabdha, knowledge took place, and after knowledge, whatever he has done, those things are called as agami. The beauty of agami karma phalas is they don't bind him. But karma phalas should go to somebody, right? So what is said in Tattva Bodha? Whoever praises this jnani, the good karma phalas will go to that individual. Only that much you keep. Why unnecessarily agitate our mind? Means whoever praises that jnani, those karma phalas will go to that sadhaka. So the main thing is 3 types of karma phalas. One is sanchita, second is prarabdha, third is agami. All of that is burnt. That is the main point. Jnani doesn't feel, I have sanchita left. Jnani doesn't even feel, I am going through prarabdha. Jnani doesn't feel, there is agami karma which is coming to me. Now you will say, how was he able to do this? How did he burn this heap of karma phalas? He was able to do it because he got rid of kartrutva. Karma phala is only for karta. Karma phala is for karta. Results of action are for the doer. If he is able to negate this doership, all the results which were supposed to come to this doer, all those results are as though burnt. So sanchita karma, whatever was there over several janmas, that is burned. There is no more rebirth for this jnani. For an ajnani, when body is dropped, physical body gets merged into earth element, and all other elements merge back, but subtle body continues. and new body is gained. Through that he is getting more and more rebirths, ajnani. But in the case of jnani, moment this body is dropped, there is no more rebirth. The example given in our scriptures is nirindhana ivanalaha. Means after knowledge, this jnani is like that flame without oil. In Buddhism it's called as nirvana. Nirvana means that, where the wick burns off with no more desires remaining, no more incompleteness remaining, which will push this person into another birth. Nirindhana ivanalaha. And what about prarabdha? Say prarabdha, he knows, is like a short arrow. Once that archer has released that arrow, he can neither stop it nor he can accept it. Once it is gone, it is gone. He has no control over that arrow. Whenever the speed reduces, it will fall down. Like that, this prarabdha has already started for this body. He says until it has to exhaust, it will exhaust. No insistence on when it should end. There is one beautiful verse in Panchadashi. It looks very simple, but to appreciate that, it takes a lot of time. Yada bhavi natad bhavi. Bhavi chet natad anyatha. Yad abhavi means that which is not meant to happen will not happen. Yad abhavi nacha bhavi. Bhavi chet, if it is meant to happen, no matter how you try to avoid it, one cannot avoid it. Bhavi chet na tad anyatha. Now what did he accomplish by this knowledge? He said his mind has stopped projecting. Sometimes his mind projects so many things which are never going to happen. So this sadhaka knows if prarabdha is meant to be certain way, it will be. And because he has already gotten up from this kartrutva, he has no insistence that things should be only in certain ways. So all three karmas are burnt together. Sanchita karma, prarabdha and agami. Gurudev would give a beautiful example for this. How by burning kartrutva, all karmas get burnt. He says, you are pulling your car out from a parking lot and you realize you parked in the wrong place. Suddenly you see the fine board, fine for parking, $400. You are so anxious, you start driving, but you don't see anybody around. But suddenly you hear the siren behind. Cop is coming and you are driving on the freeway now. You have already gotten on the freeway. Now sometimes when you are anxious, you don't know how you are driving, You change lanes randomly from the 5th lane to the 1st lane as though you are the only person driving. You change that. And this cop is coming behind, you try to speed up more. 3 errors, parked in the wrong place, change the lanes, and then overspeeding. Then the cop stops you and is ready to give you the ticket. Right when he is about to give the ticket, you wake up. So now tell me, for which fault will he give the ticket first? Will he give it first to the parking one, lane change, or overspeeding? None. Don't say overspeeding. Because the one who committed that fault is no more there. The dreamer who was there, who did these 3 things, that dreamer is no more there. He has woken up to his real identity in waking state. Like this, when jnani wakes up to his higher state as pure consciousness, when this doership is negated completely, that is the state when no karma phalas will come and bind that jnani. That is what is meant by burning karmas. We cannot really burn karmas. If kartrutva is there, means if we are dreaming still, that cop will still give the ticket. But if we have woken up, then there is no more karma phalas. At some point, we should start feeling that karma phala is really a bondage. Because otherwise we feel, what is wrong in karma phalas? Right? Let them keep coming, what is there? But only when we realize our karmas are of different kinds. And karma phalas to get according to them is really a bondage. That is when we start seeking freedom from this karma phala. This is the symbolic meaning of Sugriva running around. When Vali is chasing him, Vali is karma phala. And he goes from mountain to mountain, place to place, nowhere he finds shelter. Wherever he goes, karma phala follows him. Finally he becomes Rishi Mukha. The Parvat was Rishyamukha, where he gets satsang of Hanumanji. Hanumanji is Nishchitta Vacha Guroho. He says, where are you running from one place to another place? You have Bhagwan Rama right here. Shuddha Chaitanya, Bhagwan Rama has manifested here as Avatara. You seek his shelter, he will make you free from all karma phalas. But what does Sugriva say? Bhagwan, I believe you, but Vali is more powerful. You are just having this bow and arrow, and you are just having this jata. So he gives Bhagwan a test, and Bhagwan clears it. Finally, he gets freedom from this karma phala. Pauranic stories are very beautiful. For a sadhaka to appreciate, sadhaka to understand, means we should sincerely start feeling, I want freedom from this karma phala. That's why whenever it is said, we want freedom from dukkham, we can understand. It is also said, we want freedom from sukha and dukkha, both of it. Means our nature is Shuddha Chaitanya, which doesn't have any dukkham, not even sukham at mind level. So why seek that mixed bag of joys and sorrows? Okay, so this is that line. Bhutam bhavicha dushkutam pradhata samvinmaye pavake prarabdhaya samarpitam. Means he has completely surrendered his life to prarabdha. No insistence whatsoever. Whatever he can do, he does. But beyond that, he knows to change the world outside, our hands are tied. In that he finds solace, and his life is free from all anxieties. Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu, this body he has surrendered. This Maneesha who has, that person is my guru. Iti esha Maneesha mama. May he be a Chandala or may he be a Dvija. The one who has this Maneesha, that person is my guru. So we'll pause here and take a few questions. We have 10 more minutes. Let's see how many we can get through. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. In meditation, I am not able to look at the thoughts and abide in I am Sakshi at the same time, simultaneously. When I do one, the other, I am not able to do. I am not able to focus. Is there something wrong I am doing? This is true. We'll have this question. But we have to pay attention to that statement. I am not able to look at thoughts, or I am able to look at thoughts. This I who is looking at thought is not another thought. This I who is looking at thought is Sakshi. If we try to make Sakshi as another object, or try to look at Sakshi as an object, that will be a struggle. So Drigdrisha Viveka, this is the main quarter there. Drushyaha dhivrittaya sakshi. Not drushyaha dhivrittaya ahankaraha. Drushyaha dhivrittaya vrittaya. It is not another thought or another vritti looking at a thought. On this strength, we should just go by the practice of meditation. Whatever thoughts are coming, just looking at the thought itself is meditation. You don't have to put forth another effort to look at Sakshi. Having done that switch, having let go of thoughts, we should meditate upon glory of that Sakshi. What is glory of Sakshi? Maneesha Panchakam. That I am that Sakshi which continues in Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. I am not limited only to this body. I am Jagat Sakshi. I am Ananda Swarupa. So my identification or understanding of I and Vedanta's understanding of I, that switch should happen. What is that tagline? Realizing the real I. Realizing the real I, that is meditation. Real I is Chaitanya. But that gets mixed up with body. Separating both of them is this meditation practice. Okay? So just like saying, when I see this object, right? If I am seeing this object, do I have to put forth special attention to pay attention to eyes? The very fact I am able to see this means eyes are there. In the same way, very fact thoughts are seen means there has to be a seer different from thoughts. We don't have to put forth special effort to look at Sakshi. Okay, just like when I'm looking at this object, I just have to be aware of my eyes. Not look at eyes through the eyes. It can never become the scene. Okay, this is the. With knowledge of Vedanta, I can train my mind to not worry about objects and events. How can I help others not to worry about these? When close family and friends are unhappy, that has an impact on us. True, it's a genuine question, huh? And it stays with us for a long time, which have to keep reflecting upon. Because Vedanta will not talk about anything separate from our immediate experience. So over here, Bhagavan says, the best way of guiding somebody is through inspiration. Best way of guiding anybody for a sustained time is through inspiration. And that inspiration is by sincere practice. What we say generally doesn't have that much power than what we are. So in particular with children, they are constantly observing us. The record button in their camera is always on. And you have noticed it gets replayed also. When we are unaware, suddenly some things will get replayed. So making sure that we set the right example for them to emulate in their life. Whenever there is a difference of opinion, how do we resolve it? This we don't have to teach. If we demonstrate it in the right way at home, one already absorbs it, in particular children. Whenever there are two people, it is bound to happen. Two or more. But the demonstration is, how have we gone through it? When they go through it, how do we want them to go through it? That demonstration we can give as sadhakas. In that our sadhana will happen. Whether they learn or not is up to them. But we will feel we have grown as sadhakas. Now this is true even in a work setting. And Gurudev would emphasize this so much. He says, you change, the world around you will change. He has given 3 series of talks in Kolkata just on this. I think we had shared with all sevaks once as prasad. You change, the world around you will change. So that is the journey here. And very quickly we'll realize we cannot live somebody's life. We can only help, we can only guide, we cannot live their life. They have come with their own set of karmas, their own journey. So this is the one perspective, what Bhagwan talks about in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Loka Sangraha. He says Loka Sangraha is not by preaching. Loka Sangraha is more by demonstration. Now with this, there is another part of this question which I combined. How to draw the line between kartavya, duty, and staying back from things, means letting go of things. What we just saw, right? Prarabdhaya samarpitam. When should I say that I am surrendering everything to Bhagwan? And at what point should I say, this is my duty, I have to put forth effort? Gahana karmano gatihi. If somebody gives a very clear answer, be very doubtful about that answer. When it's so subtle, it will change from situation to situation. Sometimes we wonder, how do our Mahatmas, who are not having a family, have perspectives about Grihastha way of raising kids? Somebody asked Guruji this question. He was doing a session on marriage a melody. Marriage a melody. If you cough at the right time, lot of important statements get hidden. No worry, you can cough whenever you want. It's a Mahavakya, 9 times it is said. Tat Tvam Asi, Tat Tvam Asi, Tat Tvam Asi. At least once you will get, even if it gets drowned in some conversations. See, there he says, if you notice how a guru looks at Shishya, we will know how a parent should look at child. He says, I have a guru and I know how he has raised us. That is how we can derive perspectives. So one thing Guruji mentions there is, kartavya is in making the other person independent. Duty of a guru is to make Shishya independent in such a way that even if the guru is not around, disciple will do the same thing that guru would have wanted. If this much guru can accomplish, you see that kartavya is done. Guru's kartavya is not to solve every problem of Shishya. And Shishya should not also go to guru for every problem. He says, I have given you knowledge for that purpose. So for a child also, this is our kartavya, to make them independent to face their life. And sometimes if there is excess of love, then we might actually be holding back the child from being independent. In all facets, either in taking decisions about their life, choices they make in their life. We cannot handhold the child for too long. So to that extent, where they become independent, that is our kartavya. For that, whatever we have to do, all of that will fall under our duty. Okay?